Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
And what a great time to have a What's Working in Ag segment. We love inviting former guests back onto the podcast as well. We've got Larry with Strobel coming back to tell us more about what we saw out at Husker Harvest Days. Welcome back.
Thanks, Tanner. Good to be with you again.
We had absolutely great weather out at Husker Harvest Days in Grand Island, but it was breezy. So we're going to get us a little bit more clear audio today and talk about what we got to see. So when we first started our chat, we were standing next to your line of seed tenders. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that lineup as we move into this conversation?
Yeah, thanks. We have 16 models of seed tenders. We've been making them for a lot of years, and we believe we have the best seed tender on the market. And part of the reason is they're all low profile, which gives us a lower center of gravity, meaning more safety, more convenience for the user. And it all comes to back to innovation and solving problems for the farmer. I mean, when it's planting season, every minute helps. And of course, you don't want a box of seed to roll over on the road or when you're going down a row. So we have a lot of satisfied customers with our 16 models, and they fall into bulk models, our BT 200, 300, 400, and then our box seed tenders, 2-box, 3-box, 4-box, and we even make a 6-box seed tender.
Yeah, it was nice to stand next to those. And as I sit here in the studio, I'm looking at a poster on the wall. Corey tipped a box of seed over this spring and felt so bad about it that we commemorated it with a picture with the eclipse.
That's a bad day.
Yeah, it was not a good day. So it's good to hear that that's part of the innovation in your seed tenders. As you were walking through having me walk around those, there's a lot of additional features. Like you talked about the way those boxes sit on the trailer, the way that they lock into place. Of course, we compared how high it was compared to my hip for your low profile, but they're in line. They're not side by side. They're in line, so it's a narrow transport too.
Yeah, and one of our, we even share a patent on our one-handle lockdown. So I know you have footage that shows with one handle, all the boxes can be locked in place. Something we have that's unique to a Strobel seed tender as well. A few years ago, we added stops at the back so you can put your box on. They easily stop. And then there's a one-piece rubber gasket that is replaceable. You know, those can eventually wear out. And we have actually created a mold and have a one-piece gasket that forms a real great seal on the bottom of those pro boxes.
Yeah, and I also noticed too the unload capability, the options to be able to fill a box planter, to be able to fill a bulk fill planter, or a drill or an air seeder. Your auger and the equipment that you have attached to those seed tenders make that functional for all types of seeding.
Right. Yeah, we have some options with additional extensions, but yeah, we use polycut tubing. We feel that's the best on the seed, just the gentlest to move the seed, through the auger and then out into the planter and into the field. So we've had research over the years, and people have opinions in lots of different ways, but we feel the research backs up that the polycut tubing is the preferred means of getting that seed to where it needs to be.
And that's something else that we learned. You mentioned over the years. Strobel's a company that's been around for a long time. There's a long family history. There's a lot of research and a lot of listening to farmers that goes into all the products you have.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Tanner. We started in 1946, just a couple hundred feet from where I'm sitting right now. It was a blacksmith shop right on Highway 30 in Clarks, Nebraska. And Leonard Strobel was the blacksmith in town. And he had a passion for serving people and for solving problems. And, candidly, he came up with a lot of inventions, from cutting cedar trees out in the field to, improving the old Killifer. I mean, the box scraper is one of our best machines today. So we have a full line of what we call yellow equipment for the farm, the construction site, the ranch, and the feedlot.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was excited to see out at the trade show. Having heard and seen some of Cale Carlson's videos, was to be able to see that equipment in person. And I remember stating that I was impressed with how heavy duty it looked like everything was built. The steel is significant when you look at the dirt moving equipment.
Yeah, we have a saying around here. We call it Strobel strong, and some people might say we're overbuilt, but we use a lot of steel, and it hurt when steel went screaming up in price here a couple of years ago. But that's leveled off a little bit, and nothing like a real robust machine that is just going to hold up. We just don't have people. I mean, it's rare to have any sort of breakage. If so, we can help you take care of that, but. It's the kind of machines from our earth movers, the force ejection scrapers, the DS50's a new 5-yard this year, and we've got the big 1600, the 1611 16-yard force ejection scraper. That's just a beast when you look at the steel that's involved with that.
Yeah, I did find that interesting to see that you literally had a scraper of all sizes. Everything that looked like I could just fill in my irrigation pivot track to I could move a ton of earth and get ready for my next building to go in place.
Right. Yeah. We like to say we've got the machine for any and every operation. So from a small hobby farm to and just an acreage to really a big dirt moving operation, we've got the machines that can help out. And of course, our heart is with the farm, but we certainly want to serve the contractor and dirt mover and that construction company as well.
Yeah, I know when you got a box blade on a farm, it's one of those things that you keep finding different and more uses for it. Whether you're a feedlot and you should scrape your lots with it, or use it for
Right.
snow, or moving your silage or earlage, or just keeping your driveway level and flat. But I also know that you are having a program right now that allows even maybe more opportunities for growers to put Strobel equipment on their farms. What's that program look like?
Yeah, thank you. We developed, I think this is a first in our history. We're calling it the Seed Handling Rebate Program. So there's really kind of two elements. There are machines across the country, and we sell Strobel seed tenders through our dealers. And our network of dealers have inventory on their lots at times. A lot of these are 2024, and there on occasion are even 22 or 23 brand new seed tenders. And we really like to get them in the hands of farmers as soon as possible. So through the end of the year, we're running a rebate program where the dealers, will offer their best price to you, but then the customer will get a $500, $750, or $1,000 rebate direct from Strobel Manufacturing on their seed tender, depending on what model they choose.
Well, that's great. And all they have to do is contact their local dealer. This isn't a special promotion. This is going through the same network that you have built for them to utilize.
Right. Now, some of the local dealers won't have inventory, so I'd recommend, your listeners just call us directly, and we'll help make that connection to the dealer that has the right piece of equipment for you. And that number is 308-548-2254. You can always go to strobelmfg.com, strobelmfg.com, and call us, and we'll try to make it a simple and smooth operation to get what you need to your farm.
Well, that's exactly what we like for all of our listeners, Larry. We appreciate you taking the time. It's great to catch up with you because last time we talked about your cattle shades, and
yes,
those are still important, but we're adding depth to the perspective and understanding of Strobel.
Yeah, thanks. Our history's been with these what we call yellow machines, starting with the box scraper, and we still make and sell a lot of those. But we've added a wide array of lineup over the years. In the last 10, 12 years, we've sold super shades, and this year we've added the 30 by 30. So we've got 3 different sizes of cattle shades, 20 by 20, 30 by 30, and 40 by 40. But this time of the year, the sun is not quite as intense, although there are places. So we switch our attention a little bit over to the farmers.
Yeah.
And we want to get that seed in the ground and have this seed handling rebate program in place and really take care of our ag people that way.
That's great. Remind them again of that phone number and the website before we let you go.
Thank you. Yes, it's 308-548-2254. And the website, then you can just throw in Strobel Manufacturing in your browser or strobelmfg.com.
Awesome. Well, as I said in the beginning, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, Larry. Thanks for joining us.